Rob Gronkowski was asked about a year 12. Because he's teased it a couple times. If Tom Brady's retiring, what does that mean for Rob Gronkowski? Mm-hmm. Rob Gronkowski came out and said, if it's going to be another guy, it's going to be Joe fucking Burrow, I'll tell you that. What does that mean, AJ? Are free agents going to want to go play in Cincinnati because of Joseph Burrow, dude? Do you think that's going to become the case? This is an entire turn of the tide. From worst to first, from actual outhouse to almost penthouse, still sleeping outside, though, because you got no indoor practice facility. What a come up for the Bengals, AJ.
Well, I assumed when I heard this, that means can Gronk sign today or tomorrow and go play in the Super Bowl with the Bengals? Is that a possibility?
Well,
if he retires,
play this season, March
what if he gets retired and he gets cut? How does that work?
Well, if he gets cut, I think he could potentially go. But I don't know if the Bucs are going to cut him.
Obviously, it's not going to happen. But is there a chance?
I don't know.
What are the odds that Gronk actually plays next year?
Well, so this goes right back to Tommy B.
Yeah.
Because Tommy B, he said he's retiring. Mm-hmm. Well, Darlington and Schefter said he's retiring. Yeah. And then he had to come out with an 8 screenshot release and then a video, and it was all kind of a big clusterfuck, and Tom's dad was like, nothing's beneficial. And then obviously, they were coming out, the agent said, it'll be better coming out of Tom's mouth than anybody else's mouth. And then we all felt Tom was maybe forced into retirement a little bit by the pressures of media and society. Right. Hey, your old ass, go out on top. This would be a good story. You didn't win a Super Bowl. You didn't get to a Super Bowl. You've lost it, Tom Brady. You didn't even make it to the Super Bowl yet again in year 75 of the NFL. You need to get out of here. And now just less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks after that entire thing, he's already tempting going back. There's no way Gronkowski isn't tempting going back. Are they going to be at a new spot? Maybe in San Fran, maybe somewhere else. Whenever you talk about Tom Brady coming back, you assume Gronk's going to go with him. Yep. But at least now in this interview, and although Gronk might be trolling, just like he said, I don't watch any film, he might have been just saying, go play with Joe Burrow out there. No indoor practice facility. He just played in Tampa for a few years. His back was hurt. I don't know if that's actually a case or not, but this is what Joe Burrow and the Bengals have become, a potential destination place for big-time stars.
Gronk is not an Ohio guy by location or where he grew up, but I feel like his personality is an Ohio guy.
So let's get into Gronk's background a little bit. Mm-hmm. Grew up in Buffalo, I believe. For whatever reason, I might know the story. I don't know if it's a public story or not. He was not able to graduate from his high school for one reason or not. I don't know if it was his decision or the school's decision.
Sure.
But then he came down to Western Pennsylvania, played at Woodland Hills High School, WOODY, Woody High, same high school as my mother. They are a powerhouse. Then obviously he goes on to Arizona and does his thing. So he is a Rust Belt guy. Buffalo, graduated from a Pittsburgh high school. So I assume he would be just as tough, if not tougher than everybody in Ohio, but certainly fits the mold of tough guy. Don't you think, AJ?
Yeah, he does, but how did he get to the place in Pennsylvania? Whatever happened to Buffalo, how do you get to Pennsylvania, though?
Well, it was just a school. Like, you look around, what's good school?
That's what I'm saying. So he wanted to go find, like, a powerhouse.
Yes.
But why wouldn't he find another one, like, around Buffalo?
Because it's the whippy old dude. That's where you go to big
Okay, that's what I'm
you
asking.
go to fucking Pittsburgh, dude.
That's what I'm asking. So it's like one of those pipeline schools?
Yeah.
All right, well, that makes sense then. So they probably got recruited there.
Jason Taylor went there. Have you heard of him?
Yeah,
ever heard of him, dude?
Stevie Bresson.
Great player.
Wow.
Great player.
Steve, yeah.
All good players. Okay, so it's one of those places.
Yeah.
Ryan
It's like
Monday,
IMG
dude?
Academy
Ryan
in
Monday?
that area.
Yeah.
Kinda. I mean, obviously not an academy, but
No, it's a public school. Very public school.
Very public.
Very public
Okay,
school.
but studs come from all over the place.
Yeah, we don't do like private schools like all these other places in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Oh, it's we. You're part of it?
Well, our school, I mean, similar setup, but much worse at football.
Okay.
What? much worse at football. Yeah. Gronk talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, this never happens. Now, granted, they got Trey Hendrickson. They made some money in the offseason, but this is an absolutely pivotal year for the entire Who Day, folks. And I hope they're recognizing it, enjoying it. And I like the fact that Joey B said yesterday, if we win a championship, I'm going to smoke a cigar. Because you have no idea how many championships you're going to win in this entire thing.
Speaking of him talking like that,
Kenny
I thought
May,
about
what
it.
up, dude?
I thought about it yesterday.
Kenny, good to see you, man.
So, like, McVay's first Super Bowl experience didn't go great. Stafford's been in the league a long time. This could be like a career-making game. But then on the other side, the Bengals weren't supposed to be here. Joey Burrow, you got Uzomah coming out. Like, that's not a tight team when he comes out, takes off his leg brace, and, like, throws it into the crowd.
Yeah.
That's an advantage,
I mean,
right?
the pressure is definitely on the Rams.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yeah.
they built their team to get here. They're supposed to be here. The Bengals, no one really expected them other than Zach Taylor and the rest of those guys.
Go on about pressure, though. Like, what does that mean?
Like, I
That's
think
a Super Bowl. They're going to be shitting their pants.
they all are, but we've talked about it in the past, like off the air too. young and naive is a big benefit at times. Like, you don't have those scars build up in their brain of bad things that have happened over the years.
Yeah, so maybe Joe, instead of like pulling back, he's taking a shot.
He's never thought of it. He's never thought about losing. Like, that's a huge advantage. Like, the dude feels like he's always in the zone. He's always ready to roll.
He's only had success in big games as well.
And I would imagine it gives them a little extra juice because they were getting blown out by the Chiefs last week, and everyone was like, hey, they're dead. And they come back and win that game, never had any doubts. Like, yeah, we can beat anybody. We should beat anybody.
Listen, we're down 18. But we practice in a fucking blizzard every day.
That's right.
We don't even have an opportunity to go inside. You think being down 18 is the worst thing that happened to us? You remember when Jamar Chase's tongue got stuck to the pole outside of practice last week because we had no heat. We had no opportunity to do that. That is tough. 18 points ain't nothing. What if that's how Zach Taylor's speaking to that team? Like, hey, we have an owner who will not pay for a scouting department. All of you guys were picked individually by your individual coaches. So when you're going out there, there's a lot of road hours by guys who had to leave their families all season, then in the offseason not sleep at all either because now they got to scout high schoolers for future generations and college guys for the draft. We have no other option than what we have in here, mostly because of our own ownership doesn't do anything. But you think being down 18 matters? We haven't slept in 18 months. We're trying to run this entire thing over here because we get no help from the front office. That is quite an advantage, I think.
But do you think, do we know where the Bengals are staying? Like, is there a chance that they're big-time cheapskate?
A couple of those RVs I seen.
Exactly.